Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Webb from Oath Discussions. I wanted to do a quick review of my thoughts on the Netflix adaptation of Death Note before I went to the gym. From the opening scene, maybe due to the tone and cinematography, I got this Final Destination inspired by Donnie Darko vibe. The deaths were definitely like Final Destination. It had way more gore than I expected. I'm not sure if they thought that heart attacks would be boring, but I kind of disagree since I feel that the drama and dread based on the show kind of showcased that. I think they had a clever use of why a Japanese name like Kira would be used, even though Light, played by Nat Wolff, said that Kira is also a Celtic and Italian word for light. It's like he came out of nowhere for like a weeaboo for 2 seconds. My first problem with this movie, you have to speed through the plot points, and well, more on that later. Lakeith Stanfield is L, get it? I wonder if anybody got butthurt about a black actor playing L. Some of y'all may know him from Get Out, but I know him from Atlanta. He seems to be doing a lot in such a short amount of time, kind of like this movie. Light's dad, played by Shea Wiggum, looks like a man lost in time. One of his most recent roles was Boardwalk Empire, which takes place during Prohibition, so it's like he's trying to play catch-up and is stuck in the Elvis phase. I'm not sure what was going on there. Mia, played by Margaret Qualley, kind of reminded me of Delilah. I think that's the right female. She was way more antagonistic and in charge than the Japanese character that was swooning over Kira in the anime. On the other hand, I don't like how she was a priority for Light's motivations. I mean, I get it. Teenage hormones run wild. And once you get the power to be the authority, you kind of would want to use it to get laid. Is that called a power boner? I'm not sure. But then again, that separates him from the anime Light, who already felt that he was superior before getting the Death Note. His hard-on for justice was more important than his feelings towards anyone, which made him more of a sociopath. Now, as far as Watari, it seemed like he was a waste of a character, and it was almost like the only Japanese connection you can get from the film, other than Ryuk. And I didn't like the lack of battle of wits between L and Light. It had less impact than on the show, and it kind of felt like, let's get this out of the way and move the story along, rather than them trying to outsmart each other being what drives the movie. And I didn't like how L ended up looking like a sucker and get played out. It almost seemed like he didn't really matter in the end. Speaking of the end, I kind of like how open-ended it was. I won't go further, so not to spoil it. But then again, it's up to your interpretation. And that also kind of came across as a cop-out. Overall, this movie's kind of forgettable. All the actors, especially Willem Dafoe as Ryuk, did well with the roles that they were given, but the story didn't really give them much to work with. Fans of the original show aren't going to like this due to how much it deviates from the source material. I remember complaints about whitewashing. I may save that for another day, but honestly, the pacing and the story and the underdevelopment of the characters were way stronger negatives than that. I gave it a thumbs up on Netflix. I'm having second opinions about it now that I've woken up. As far as people that are new to Death Note, they're not going to be familiar with why people were fans of the show, and fans of the show, as I already mentioned, aren't going to like too much of how far they strayed away as far as an adaptation goes. But then again, when you think about it, how many good adaptations of anime are there? If you can think of any, by all means, feel free to comment that below. Follow me on Webb859 on Twitter, Webb.859 on Instagram. Follow Oath Discussions at Oath Discussions on Twitter. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. We post weekly podcast episodes on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. Search Oath Discussions and you can find it. Thanks for your time and peace.